Back out here working on this thing. Last time I was out here, I got one of my patches tacked in. I'm liking the way that's coming. I cut up the replacement floor pan I had got, and then I made another patch. I cut out a bunch of stuff, and I accessed the cab floor support in the front on the driver's side. So what I'm going to be working on now is I am going to continue making the patches. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get all these patches manufactured, get them set down in here, get them fitting the way I want, and then I think I'm going to tack them together, remove them, get good welds on them, get them all dressed up, get the cab support replaced, get it installed and welded, and then put my patch in as one piece or maybe two, get it in there and start welding that and getting everything dressed. And then once I'm done with that, it'll be time to go ahead and look at installing this A-pillar for the last time and getting that set in, getting it welded. I'm not going to weld it completely, but get a few welds in it just to hold it in place. And then once that's done, I'll move over to the passenger side, start removing the A-pillar and everything on that side, start the floorboard, get that floorboard squared away. Once I get the A-pillar back in on that side for good, or just tacked, then I'll start working on the inner roof and the pieces that go across the top of the doors. Once all that's done, then I'm going to blast everything down and get epoxy on all of this so that it's all sealed. And later on, if I have to come in and like fill holes in the firewall and stuff like that, I can grind back those areas and weld in patches for those, and then go back and do another coat of epoxy on everything. Because if I end up with 2 coats of epoxy on the majority of it, I'm okay with that. So without further ado, we are going to get in here and start cutting this floor apart a little bit more. I'm going to go a little bit up into the toe board area. I've got some rust, and then there's some shape that I need to correct for in there, and I have an idea on that. So I'm going to start working on that. Last time I was out here, I made this patch panel here, and this is cut from one of the replacement floor or inner floorboard sections from Classic Parts. So I'm not going to be using that whole floorboard, obviously. Shapes didn't match. I'm okay with that. I have, as Kevin Tate says, the hot metal glue gun. So I can glue all this stuff back together. But I've got this piece that I'm happy with the way it fits. I left part of the flange here, and that will end up getting removed. I'll be cutting it out of the back. There was a flange that ran across here that I'm not putting back. My intentions are make a ridge like this right here and run it across here to add some strength to this. So that's what I'm shooting for. I think it'll be more aesthetic as well. I don't need as much of this dimple as is in there because I'm going to have one running horizontally. So what I was looking at doing originally is I made a piece that I was going to use, but I'm not getting deep enough with my dies. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this off, and then I'm going to cut a wedge, flatten the ears out, and then hammer it back up. And all I did was I cut at an angle on both sides, and I'll mark and be more precise, flattened that lip out and then folded it up, and it seems to fit up in there pretty good. And then I can weld it, and then I get my transition without as much work. So I think that's what I'm going to try to do here. Going to draw some lines and get some stuff squared up and then go from there, but that is generally the direction I'm going with it. did is I pie cut right here up on both sides. I flattened this part of the weld, or I flattened this part out, and I pushed it up so it steps up, and now it's on the same plane as this. So now what I'm going to do, it needs to come up just a little bit. I'm going to get my welder out, and I'm going to tack here and here to hold it, and I'll smooth it out a little bit better once that's solid, and then I'll fill all this in with welds, and then I can grind it, and it'll look natural the way it was originally built. But I've shortened it up 4.5 inches. I saw somebody on one of the sites, I don't even remember who it was, or I'd give them credit for it. He said when you wear these out on the edges, don't throw them away. Cut them down and put corners on them, and they're great if you go with the 2-inch backer. You can get in there and it'll knock down your welds real quick, and then you're not wasting, because there's still a lot left there. So alright, so the Clecos don't seem to want to work for what I'm trying to do here. So what I'm going to do is, these screws should fit. So I am going to take the Clecos out and put the screws in instead. And I think, because I'm not getting enough clearance with the Clecos, it's all good. We'll be fine, because the screws are going to hold it tight as well, and all I need is that guide to stay into place, and I believe that these screws are going to work fine. Yep, there we go. So now I can stick that up in there, and we are clear. So we can drag that all the way across both sides, and we're good. I'm going to have to make multiple passes, I know that, but that's okay. Just nothing but time to get it where we need it to be, and we'll be good. But I am loving this tool more and more every time I use it. Alright, so there's the first half of it. So now all I got to do is line it up and do the other side. Alright, so it worked, kinda. I got the groove I want. I need to clean it up, but I got some stretch in it. So I just need to do some hammering on it. I need to bring these edges up like I did on the other pieces. And I think once I fix these areas right here, I think that'll kind of straighten it out, but I can hammer that and get it all cleaned up. But that's about what I was looking for. So let's go over to the vise and start working on straightening that out. Hammers and dollies. Alright, so I've got this piece done up the way I want it right here. So this piece my intentions are to cut in just like so. And weld this in, and that will give a little bit more rigidity to this area of the floor. Now I can take the scribe and scribe my line in the black, and it'll be very visible. I don't know if it's visible in there, but there is a very distinct line in the black. Makes it easy to cut. So what I have here is I have this patch, this piece I made before. It fits pretty good. I've got this one, fits. I think I need to trim just a little bit off right there. But I'm going to tack these together and go ahead and get them fully welded and get it hammered out flat and everything so that they're good to go. This is still going to need a little bit of work whenever I get over on that side. But I'm going to go ahead and get this in, and then I'm going to make this patch that goes in right here and get that in, and then I will get that tacked to this and make just one big patch for that. And then I'll make this piece, and once that all that's made and it's all tacked together and good to go, then I will go ahead and start working on getting the cab support out, get that done, and get all that fitted up and ready to weld in. And then I'm going to clean up underneath. I will paint the inside of the cab support with some gloss paint. I'll scuff it down and paint it just for protection, and then I will get the edges prepped and ready to go with some weld through primer, and I will go ahead and get my holes drilled and get everything lined up, and then get all this welded up, and then I can go ahead and put the A-pillar in. But that right there has effectively eliminated all the rust. I think I need to hammer a little bit more on this, so I'm going to work that real quick, and then I think I'm ready to start tacking it. So I'm going to tack it, get several tacks in across here just to hold the two together, and then I'll take it out and finish welding it off the truck. Alright, so that should be solid enough that I can remove that, and it should hold its shape for alignment. I'm happy with the way that turned out. This piece is for this. This piece is for that. And then I have this floorboard remade. So I think the best way to do this piece is to get it lined up on here and trim this piece down, get it to fit. And then I can somewhat scribe the rest of it. I may take a little bit more of this out because I could actually lay this in just like so and just make a big rectangular patch. Cut this edge and have all of that just welded up. That may be the best idea. I got a couple more spot welds I'd have to get out right there. Just two of them. All this needs is just a little bit of curve put into it. Not a lot. That's probably too much. It is too much. Take a little bit of that out. See, that fits up pretty good. And then that's done. And then I just got to make this piece and I'm good.